afternoon, everybody. Welcome to your Monday night episode of Not Another Rangers podcast, where we went from qualifying for moving into the next round of the Scottish Cup against Fraserburgh to now heading towards Thursday to play against the worst Man United team ever in the Europa League. So the big game was yesterday, clearly. The more excitement, the more easy one will be Thursday, and we'll get into them both as the next hour or so goes. So, Ricky, good to see you again. We missed you on Friday. How are we?
Yeah, good, mate. Back on my travels again. So, no, all good. So, a warm-up for Dundee United on Sunday, Old Trafford on Thursday, is it? We'll go and beat Man United and then draw 1-1 with Dundee United. Bring on another week of Rangers.
It's fun times. And Scott, how's yourself?
Been better, Gary. Been better. I didn't get a game yesterday because things going on, but I watched some of it and the goals were decent, to be fair. But Thursday, to be honest with you, I think Thursday, if we don't get something, people are going to start probably ask questions, even though you're playing Man United and they've got guys in the park who are worth more than your squad. One guy's worth more than your squad put together, and there's moments players there. But I'm not saying it's a free hit for us on Thursday, but I think with the way the results are going down south and then up here, I think everybody's expecting us to get something, Gary.
And do you have your Man United bottoms on? Or your Man United top underneath that?
It's pyjamas.
No. I don't wear pyjamas, Ricky. Nice. I'm not 10.
For anybody watching the pod tonight, just think of that Scott in a vision with any pyjamas on. That's it. To leave you in tonight, leave you with that.
Ricky, does pyjamas?
No comment.
Ricky's got his Not Another Rangers podcast pyjamas.
Come on, boys. This is no it's no OnlyFans. It's what people are here to speak about Rangers. No, what you get up to. Well, Lana Wolf.
Is that when you look? Bring out the merch. And get them on.
Ricky's making it in Cyprus because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Ricky's got a supplier.
He's abroad, isn't he? You can get them cheaper and make them, bring them over. If we go for there, that's the way to do it. Anyway, we will digress back to the football. Move away from the Bradley jammies. I think tonight we'll probably talk most of it Man United game. I think because we'll look forward. Obviously, we'll talk about the Fraserburgh game, talk about transfers, talk about some of the stuff that's going on, and kind of pick up. I suppose in terms of the Fraser game, we're not going to go over the game in a lot of detail. We'll maybe look more maybe at some of the players that played, how they done, some of the ones that took their chance, some of the ones that maybe didn't take their chance, and where that leaves them going forward, I think, as much as anything else. Before we look at a bigger preview of Man United, we often run out of time when we get to the actual next game, so we'll try and spend a bit more time on...
Like Friday night.
The next thing you know, you're looking at the clock thinking, we need to go. People are... Saturday morning's coming. So we'll try and focus a little bit more time on Man United. I suppose, Ricky, then, so just it's a game you can't win and can't really get any credit for yesterday when you beat Fraserburgh 5-0, but I suppose your overview of the performance.
Well, first half, to be honest, I mean, if there was a few players, we'll start with a positive. It was good to see Nsiawa again. I thought he was excellent again. He's really impressing me since he's came into that Rangers team. I know it was only Fraserburgh, but I meant to look today, and I'm still not sure if he can play against Man United as a young player. I don't think he can, because I don't think he came through our system. I don't know how many years you need to be in there, but I've been really impressed with Nsiawa. Other than that, I mean, Curtis and Rice were good when they came on in the second half. The first half was actually fascinating because Fraserburgh, they were full of adrenaline, they had a lot of energy, and again, our team, even against Fraserburgh, was struggled to break down a low block, even against plumbers and fishermen and God knows what else they had on the park. They were treating it as a day out, and it was, to be fair, it was a bit. I was happy. I'm glad Fraserburgh had a good day out and everything like that. I'm not gonna be too hard on the players because these games, like you guys says, they're very difficult. I thought it was a big opportunity for some players, and I thought a few really disappointed. I thought McCausland was pretty poor when he got his opportunity. Barami, I thought, should be dominating these games. You know, these guys have cost a lot of money. So there was some positives to come out of the game and some negatives for me. I mean, the most important thing with any cup tie, Gary, is that you're in the next round of the hat. The draw's going to be tonight after the Dundee derby. So Celtic at home would be nice for the next round, and into the hat tonight. So we'll see who we get out the hat tonight, mate.
And Dundee are obviously playing the D United just now and they're 1-0 up, I believe, after scoring the first minute. And I did hear a wee stat just because I thought it was interesting. I'm going to share it, not necessarily Rangers related, but they've conceded the third most goals than any team in the SPL and scored the third most as well, just below Rangers and Celtic. So Dens Park's the place for thrills, unless it was last week when I was in the freezing cold and it was a dull one each. So barely. But anyway, Scott, yourself, you've seen bits of the game, just your kind of overview of the game before we dip into a bit more detail.
I thought Ross McCausland got a bit of hard flag. I thought he'd done okay. Listen, he was creating chances. As we see Mendes trying to get the first one. I think he was trying to hit somebody in the crowd, didn't he? But I thought he'd done okay. He was getting the ball into the box, he scores a goal. You can't really ask any more for your wide man, can you? But listen, we all know he's not going to be in the first team sheet. He's a squad player at best, and he might get moved on as well. But I thought he'd done okay. I thought Lovelace could have done more. I thought he was kind of, I don't know, he might be playing right enough. He's playing at left, isn't he? And I thought he kind of looked a wee bit lost, but Army wasn't good at all. But like I said to you before, these games, it's a no-win for the players. Because if they win 10-0, it's like expected. We won 5-0 and people are having a gripe. So sometimes just let it go. It's a playing against a team that we've never really played. I know the B team beat them, but listen, these guys are out for the day enjoying themselves. It's very sometimes our players, because they know they're going to win, is a motivation still there. I know that people say it should be, but in your head, you think we're going to win this game anyway because of who you're up against, and you kind of know that. But listen, I thought the young boys coming in done well. I thought Bailey Rice was unlucky with his shot. I thought he should, to me, he just started, to be honest with you. But Finlay Curtis was outstanding. But Finlay has been for the academy side all season. And when you're scoring goals, Gary, when you're scoring goals, it doesn't really matter what level it is. You know where the net is. So to me, he should have had game time by now, at least a chance by now. And I think he took it yesterday and surprised a lot of folk because maybe if they'd not seen him. But the boy's quality, he can pick a pass. He knows where the goal is, but he's understanding of football superb. He's got a brain. And that's what he needs as a football.
So see, sticking with Curtis, I'm not going to lie, I've not seen him play once, right? Other than maybe the odd fleeting thing on them. So I don't know much about him. Scott, you probably know more than me. Maybe for the audience, tell us a wee bit about him then. What do you know about Finlay Curtis? Because I'm not sure. When he came on, I wasn't sure what position he played, really. I don't know where. I know
he's an attacking midfielder, Gary. He can play up top if he's thinking, but he's more come out for the left. And listen, I just think he's got everything. And like I say, his awareness is really good. I think he's understanding the game. You can see some of the passes he's put through. He doesn't think about where the ball. He knows where the ball should go. I think he played one through. I can't remember who was it played through to, but it's a knack of scoring goals. And if you've got that knack at that level, yeah, it's a big step. But you still know where the goal is. You still know how to finish, and that's a good thing to have at a young age. So he can carry that through if he's given the chance. And I think he's one of these players. I said it yesterday. I think he could save his money short term. But I think he could also make his money because I think there's something about Finlay Curtis. But Clement has to give him a chance. Yesterday's fleeting minutes can't be the only time we see him because a lot of dead rubbers left in the league. Like it or not, there's a lot of dead rubbers. We're not going to win the league, but we're going to finish second. So some of these games, Rice should be starting, Curtis should be starting. Just to see what I like. Gary, playing against Fraserburgh is fine. They've played them before. These boys kind of know as well, but...
So what age is he? What age is Curtis?
Don't know, is he 17, 18? But he's quite
I
young.
think he's older.
Bailey Rice is the same. I thought he looked really composed, Bailey. Come on, he was unlucky with the shot. They tried the grass cutter one, but I just think Bailey needs time to compose himself and put himself maybe apart. To me, I don't know why Dio played. I know he's suspended on Thursday, but yesterday I gave him a rest. Rice and Barry were good enough. The two of them were good enough midway apart to beat Fraser. So that was the only thing that annoyed me yesterday. The boys not starting, so I think they played against them before, so why not start yesterday in the cup? I think Clement should use this after the game yesterday to maybe give the boys a start. Listen, proper done okay, but Nasala was good again, I have to say, and Siala, what you call him. And I don't know what's going to happen there. Is he going to continue to play? Is he going to bring in the big boys on loan? Or Balogun's back? You just don't know.
Well, Kerr, apparently the guy who's another Rangers exclusive, the big centre back, the 6'3", he says, Comont says he's not ready to play for months because he's not played football for a year. So they scouted him. He's not played football for a year. They scouted him off of his forum 2 seasons
Football
ago.
manager.
And they were speaking to people from Wales that said he was a great teammate and stuff like that, but he's not ready to play right now, as the latest from Cobont, which is unbelievable. But anyway, to be honest with you, NCAA, if they take him out the team, I will be absolutely raging, boys, because that is what it's all about. What is the point in giving these players an opportunity? If you give these players an opportunity and they perform to such a high level like NCAA has, maybe he can't play against Man United, and maybe that game you can see the validity and going with experience and Balogun and proper. But when we go back to the bread and butter at the weekend at Tannadice, that's a perfect game for the league's done anyway. So put NCAA in. And Curtis as well. Look at the last few months, right? We brought Matondo on, and he was an absolute lemon on the left wing. He looked like he didn't want to be at Rangers. He was so bad. He looks like he hates playing for Rangers. He likes his 30k a month. And then Cortez came on at Ibrox, St Johnstone in the second half. I mean, he had energy, but he did absolutely nothing. So if Cortez is injured again, Matondo's moving on. So if these guys are getting opportunities, why do we not give Curtis 45 minutes of football and see what he can do when we're winning 2-0 against Ross County in a couple of weeks if we are at Ibrox, This is the perfect opportunity now until the end of the season.
I wouldn't wait until we're leading now, just put them for the start, because if you try this now with these boys and give them a few games, half a dozen games between now and the end of the season, even just at home, but you'll be able to tell then are they good enough to put in the squad for next season. See that?
That's what I'm saying, but you've got to give them a chance.
Alec Lowry's potential was up here. Now he's been released in a free to maybe go to Wickham, so you don't want to put guys out. Me and Gary seen it. You probably remember John Fleck yourself. With Fleck, he came through. He was supposed to be the next best thing, and then he struggled, but probably one of the reasons he struggled was he never probably played in his proper position. But you have to give these guys a chance in minutes, like Curry says, minutes here, isn't going to prove anything. You have to give them consistent games, and then maybe you can say, right, we can put our neck on him for next season. He'll save his money because he can come into the squad. Instead of just saying, now we'll put him back in the B team, we can sign A, B and C on loan and A and B and C for here. That's how the academy's not working, and that's how we're spending so much money.
Yeah. So we'll come back to some of that in a wee bit. We'll just stick with the game then now. So pick out some of the players. Obviously, for those that don't know, those who've not watched it, it's not heard the score yet. We won 5-0. 5-0 against Fraserburgh. Positive result. One of my favourite players scored a hat-trick. Nah.
I've never scored just today, Gary.
No, I am only kidding. We will talk. Do you know what we'll talk? In fact, we'll talk about Dessers briefly first, right? Because I want to get out of the way before we talk about young players. I think he scored. He missed a few chances. He scored some really good goals. I was looking at there. I'm going to tell you this, right? So if I came to you, Ricky, and said to you, we've been linked with a striker, scored 38 goals in 87 games. He scores every 137 minutes. He has, including assists, he's got a goal contribution every 100 minutes. Scored at international level, Champions League level, European level, domestic league, cup, all in the last 18 months and never been injured. That would sound like a good player, wouldn't it? It's amazing how the criticism from that basis. And and I'm not saying that he's good enough. We all know he's not good enough. I've had this discussion many times.
Yes.
The stats.
Gary,
why?
You are the king of the fishing rod, mate. I'll give you your credit, mate. You are the king. Oh, you should be on that channel, on Discovery Channel, where they go and catch the crabs with on one of their boats, mate. Because you've got your big net out, and I know exactly what you're trying to do. Listen, mate, Dessers has had purple patches when he's been at Rangers, and he's had. I remember when he went through a period last season, and I think it was like 2 months, and he scored all his goals together, and he was leading the line fantastic. And he had that opportunity this season. We had no strikers at the start of the season. Igamani was no use. Igamani couldn't play. Danilo was injured, as he is again just now. And Dessers had the opportunity to stake his claim and be. But again, when it mattered, his form fell off a cliff. He went about 10 games, he didn't score. And it's not just the fact that he doesn't score goals. The ball bounces off him, and he's like a ping ball machine. You play the ball, he ruins the whole... It's all right doing it against Fraserburgh at the weekend, but in normal games, the team is so ineffective with him as your number 9 because the ball, you don't know what's going to happen every time people put a pass into him. Is he going to hold it up? He is capable of moments of absolute brilliance. He's actually a perfect Comont striker because Comont's team is bipolar. You know, everyone's happy again at Ibrox. We've won 3 games in a row. The train is back in the station. They're cleaning the train again, choo-choo, but we're away to go away from home again. The team is bipolar. Dessers is bipolar. And I could not believe the manager speaking. Okay, maybe he was being a bit of a politician saying that Dessers, we might have to, if we get rid of him, we need a striker. I know he was trying to say of equal quality and fans were jumping on that. He meant better. We need a better striker if Dessers leaves. And he doesn't want any player to leave if he's not going to be replaced and stuff like that. But we all know as fans, and Comont knows as well, that Dessers is not good enough to be a Rangers striker. He's not good enough to be a squad player. So basically, we need to move him on. If we can get... The more that we wait, if we don't sell him in January and we wait to the summer, the fee's just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. And it's no wonder. Coppin is supposed to be this director of football now, so it's his job to get a decent fee for him in January, close the chapter of Cyril Dessers, thank God, move on.
So well done, Cyril, for scoring that hat-trick. You know, the Ricky's really positive about you there. If you're watching, my apologies. What I would say to you, as I said, I don't disagree with you. I think I've said many times, I think it's best for everybody moves on. But what he will do, if he did stay at the end of the season, he'll be the only Rangers striker that scored 20 goals a season, 2 seasons in a row, probably in the last 20 plus years. So he will hopefully go with some best wishes from some people. Scott, it's been just picking in the goals. He scored what were quite good goals, particularly second. The second one was quite engaging him at the game. And he takes 3 touches when he only needs 1 before putting it in the back of the net. And the third one was an excellent finish.
He gets that time, Gary, he's against opposition, isn't it? If that was against somebody at a higher level, when they had the 3 touches, somebody would have probably tackled him. But listen, he does what he does, and he can't slag his goal scoring record because it's really good, as you say. It's everything else that comes with Dessers. But we speak about Dessers so much for somebody who's not been here that long.
Aye.
Every single person speaks about Dessers, and it's like he is what he is. He's a kind of journeyman striker. He's at an age where he'll probably have maybe 1-2 moves max if he can't settle somewhere. But he's probably done this most of his career. He'll score a few goals here and there, and then he struggles and he gets moved on. And he's doing the same as he said himself, didn't he? If he's third choice, he's not getting regular football, he may have to look elsewhere. So he kind of knows that. So scoring a hat-trick was fine because, listen, he never really moans and groans. He puts a smile on his face, and you seen that yesterday. But we do need better. But I think maybe come out and said that because maybe he's looking at the board and caught him to say, right, well, if he does move, I need somebody else in. Yeah. And I don't know. It depends on the European, how far we get, and also the Scottish Cup. But would you spend the money now? Because January is quite difficult to bring players in. Or would you leave it until the summer or go and get somebody maybe in a pre-contract if there's players out there? Because it will be depending where we're looking. But so it's difficult as well because a board might have a certain amount for next season, but obviously some of that's been put aside for Cortez, remember? I don't know.
Can you rely on Danilo? I suppose the issue is, can you rely on Danilo? You know, it's all right saying you can't really go with 1 striker for the rest of the season.
I don't think Danilo was going to be out for long, to be honest with you. And I think it was just, I think he said 2 weeks, so that's fine. If he's back in 2 or 3 weeks, that's fine. I think Danilo's got something about him. Yeah, he's not maybe the best finisher, but I think in a 2-way man, he's got something there, especially in the league games. European games, I don't know, because I think Agaman's probably your man you go towards. But I think Danilo's good. So I think because Danilo costs a bit more as well, there'll probably be more. Aye. If he was what, 5-6 million or something, so. Aye,
6 million. Let's stick with the game now. So I'm quick fire out. I'm going to, because I want to talk about you a lot. So picking the young players, right? So McCausland and Ricky, I'm going to come at you because you like to tell. You said earlier on he didn't have a really good game. I thought.
I thought he could have. I wouldn't say he was.
He looked safe to me.
Exactly, Gary. Exactly. Like he has to realise that he's not going to get many opportunities. And it's sort of like, I thought the second half he was a lot better as the game opened up. He was running inside, he was being a bit more direct. That's the only chance McCausland has of staying at Rangers, is if he starts, when he comes on as sub, or when he gets his opportunity, he has to grab that opportunity, Gary, because Czerny's the main man in our team, and he's not going to get many opportunities. It's a bit like someone coming in for Raskin. We have maybe like Egerman. These players are like the standard and level that these players are compared to the rest of our team is huge. So players like McCausland, this is the problem in our squad. The drop off is so big, and I just thought he could have done a lot better. I think some of the criticism he got after the match was way over the top, but in my personal opinion, I thought he could have done a bit better with the opportunity he was given, to be honest.
And Scott, just think, because one of the things I watched his press conference on Friday, I think it was, and one of the things that struck me was he talked a lot about how good Czerny was and how great it was to learn from him. And I kind of, my view was, as a professional player, you've kind of got to want to take his shirt, not just talk about how good he is and happy you'd understudied to him. And that kind of brings you back to maybe the issue is you've got to move on, you've got to progress, you've got to look to be better than the other guy. And I'm not quite sure that comes across.
Listen, I like Ross as I think he tries, I think he gives 100%, but I don't know if he's getting any levels he can go up. I think he gives his always on the park. Listen, he scores some goals for his good goals in European football. He scored in the league. He can create, but he can be frustrating, like some of the guys have said, like you guys have said. And like I said, I don't know if he can go that extra level for us. Do you know that way? And we do need better. But I'd rather have him in the squad than Matondo, Cortez, Dowell and stuff, because he has homegrown. So that's maybe his only saving grace, because obviously we've not got a lot of money to spend in the summer. I don't know how much money we've got, but I don't think it'll be mega bucks, do you know that way? So we'll kind of have to wheel and deal at times. But I'd rather he was in the squad, because he's not probably on a big earner compared to some of them. And I was still trying to get the Cortez deal. I know he won't, because I know Cummins came out and said he sees him as a Rangers player in the future. So, but I feel sorry for him at times. I think he does okay, but we obviously want more and we want better. And I think, to me, he maybe leave in either this summer or next summer. I don't know how long he's got left for us, but I think we can be quite harsh on players, especially for Rangers fans or whatever, the money is, but more harsh on them, and we're maybe on somebody that's came from another league or somebody we don't really know that much about. But I feel younger lads are Rangers fans, they seem to get a wee bit more of a boost than maybe other players.
Yeah. So sticking to some of the other players then, so we talked a wee bit about Curtis. I think he's a really good game, so lovely passes, looked really direct. In fact, impressed me, given I've not seen him. Lovelace is probably the other one I want to just pick out, Scott. We briefly he did get first, I think it was first hour, I can't remember how long he played for, but he's out of contract at the end of the season. He's had a lot of injury problems. He's certainly got a bit of talent there, but do you see a future for him at Rangers?
No, I think Zach will go back to England. I think, remember when he came to us, he was hitting the Millwall's first team, and he's probably sold him a dream as he come to Rangers and play first team football, and he never really did. And he probably maybe thinks to himself, I wish I stayed at Millwall, played more football, he might get a move somewhere else. But listen, I think he'll find a club back in England, Championship, a League One, no problem. I think he'll go in good career. Listen, if he can injury free, he's physical, he's a big lad, that he can score goals, you've seen that. Yeah. I just think it's his injury record that's let him down at Rangers. But you know, the only player with a bad injury record at Rangers, Gary, and then they move elsewhere and they become injury free, don't they? So listen,
did you tell me last week Ryan Jack's playing it pretty much every week in Turkey, and he's punching himself in his legs?
One of these things. I think we need the hammers and baseball bats. We should stop using them at training. But listen, Zach will go and have a decent career for himself. So if he does leave, I wish him all the best.
Yeah. And Ricky, then the much fabled Bailey Rice, who's the best player ever come out of Motherwell's Academy, got half an hour on Sunday. He looked good,
well,
big, strong, and boy.
We've been. Kerr will tell you, day one on this pod, we've been speaking about Bailey Rice, about get him in the team, give him minutes, blah, blah, blah. And now for us, we've got to see these guys a lot more, you know. There's no harm in chucking these guys. They need, and I totally agree with what Kerr, maybe no starting them, like maybe certain games starting them and stuff like that, but I would have no problem whatsoever with Rice starting football matches for Rangers. I mean, Diamandi's not exactly some games. I think he's brilliant in big games in Europe and against Celtic and stuff like that. But you play him against the Dross in Scotland, he wants too many. I keep saying this. Him and Yefty need properly coached. Diamandi wants too many touches in the middle of the park, you know. So Rice is you got to get a guy like that in the team and see how he needs coached and how he fits into the team. He actually, we spoke about it in the group chat through the week actually, and I think Scotty was getting his wires crossed with what I was trying to say. But Rice actually played in front of the number 6, and he normally plays in the number 6, and I thought he did quite well getting forward, so he's quite dynamic in the middle of the park as well, you know. So I think he is a good option to be bringing off the bench and then get him more integrated. I mean, he's in the first team squad now, so the manager, I actually thought in his the press conference, Rice was the one he spoke highly of the most because he said he's really, really been impressing in training, but it's just been the right time to chuck him in to give him minutes. So now we want to see these guys progress, you know. There's nothing better. And you guys know there's nothing better. Okay, maybe a Waldrop or a Gaza, but apart from that, there's nothing better than a academy player watching them come in the team and develop and grasp that opportunity. So hopefully some of these guys can do that and be part of the squad for next season. If we start afresh next season, it would be great to have 2 or 3 acts and not token gestures, not just on the bench and they get a minute, 5 minutes here and there. They've got to be actually, if Diamandi can't play, Rice plays. If Cortez doesn't play, Curtis plays. If Cherney doesn't play, whoever, you know, they've got to be actually first-team players or it's absolutely pointless.
So sticking with you then, Ricky, the last of the young players that were on the bench really was Leon King. And an hour off goes Proper, I remember what happened. And Tav moves into centre half to allow Yilmaz to go on. Slightly bizarre in my view, I thought, you know. Again, it maybe shows up where Leon King is in the pecking order and where his future is. Disappointing maybe for him. And I think it's one of those players that it doesn't look like it's ever going to get any better for him.
No, I think his time is up, mate. I think we can all see that. And I think it's better. Wildy looks like he's moving on in the next few days. So King as well. I think for these guys, it's coming to that time where anytime he gets an opportunity in our team, he doesn't really grab it. He doesn't really grasp it. I mean, you look at NCR, the difference between him and King. He's came into the team. He's looked bright. He's looked like the passing is there. The aggression is there. He's defending well. He's actually made Proper look like a better defender since he's came in. He's looked like his best partner so far. And
he also went to the right, Proper, innit? Proper's also went to the right.
Exactly.
Right-footed, so you wonder whether there's a benefit there.
He's been much better. They've worked actually the best. Proper's looked the best he has next to NCR, which is crazy. And then when King gets put into the team, it doesn't matter what you say, and it's all different types of matches. He just looks all over the place. He looks weak in the header. He's quite cultured on the ball and stuff like that. But you can tell, for me, he's not going to make it at Rangers. I mean, you can tell by he's putting Tav at centre back before the last option was Yilmaz or Yefty at centre back, and King still was going to get a game against Fraserburgh. So, and it's better for him as well. He's not a young boy anymore, so it's better for him to move on. And we'll hope these guys do well. Best of luck to Wildy if he moves on to Wickham. Best of luck to King if he moves on, you know. So hopefully he gets a move during January because he's wasted. It's wasted him sitting and Harley being parts of squads and stuff like that. So go out and play, kid, and progress your career.
Gary, I feel like the club have kind of not helped Leon King.
Yeah.
I feel they bummed him up, gave him a big deal. Gio played him, obviously, in games next to James Sands at times. It wasn't great in Europe. And he was chucked under the bus by a lot of the fan base and by a lot of the other different managers. And he's probably stagnated himself. His confidence is probably on the deck, to be fair to the lad. And because when he was playing with Scotland under-21s, he was still playing relatively well. I mean, he was playing in a few different positions. I think when he leaves us, will be the best thing that can happen to him. Because I think as a player there, I think he'll turn into a really good player. But I just feel somebody said he refused to go out on loan. He did because he's a Rangers fan and he wants to try and prove himself here. But I think that's past, and I think for the boy himself, he has to go and first team football elsewhere. He's not going to get it at Rangers, no matter if Clement stays or Clement goes. He's not going to get first team games. So I think now he has to go and get football elsewhere. But as we usually do with players, when you're on that money a week, he's not going to go to a championship club in Scotland because they'll not pay anywhere near that. So he has to go to somebody, either if he's out, I don't know when his contract runs out, but it's difficult when you're on that money because any normal person, when you want to get it up, no matter what.
What would you do yourself? You wouldn't just take a £5,000 drop just to go and play at Falkirk or whatever it may be. You know?
I don't think you get £3,000 at Falkirk, Gary, to be honest with you. So I think it's very difficult. I just feel he has to go somewhere. The manager has to. You don't have to go. I think his agent has to tell him. I think.
Nah.
But I think for Leon, he has to look at the mirror and say, "Do I want to keep earning this money? Then contract runs out and people forget who I am, or do I go and prove people wrong and try and make a name for myself again?" I think that's what he has to do.
And then sticking just with they're all synonymous with each other. Was King and Lowry really for the last couple of years for some reason? They've been the two bright hopes that were coming through. Yeah. Lowry's obviously, but there's rumours suggesting that he's on his way to Wycombe Wanderers again. A case potentially of a talent wasted. Nobody really knows because they're young. He only played 14 games. That's not over in total. So a little bit sad. I think the games
obviously, you know Wally, and he goes to all the academy games, and he has said that all the players he's seen over the years, Lowry was a boy with probably the most talent.
Yeah.
But as we all know, talent is the only thing you need. I mean, he came into the first team, Alec looked really good, I have to say, when he came in under Gio. He looked superb, and you thought, we want to watch him. We've got a boy that's attacking football. He knows where the goal is, he can create, and he's ours. We don't have to buy him, but for some reason, he had personal issues, didn't he? Family stuff, and then he's never had that chance. He went to Hearts, and I thought he'd have done okay, but that kind of backfired on him himself. So I think Alec's going to have to build himself up again. But I have to say, Wycombe Wanderers is a great move. And they're flying high in League One. They might end up getting up in that same in the Championship. And as you know, England, you can play a good season and a half down there, and you end up getting bought for a good bit of money because that's the way English football is. So if he goes there, then good luck to him as well. Because I think Alex still got that talent, but I think he needs to prove it to people now. He needs to fight more.
Do you think it's difficult? And you do a lot of scouting, so I'm stick with you with this one. Is it if you came through, your Alex Lowry, your Leon King, your whoever it may be that's came through the academy, closeted away from real life, you've got all that trappings that go with it.
Yeah,
it must be pretty difficult, and then when you get to a stage when you're not quite making it, to then go and, like any go down to what's a lesser level, then try again. That whole motivation, the whole mindset, the whole stuff that goes with it must be tricky.
It is, Gary, aye. You're right, because when you're that young, when you're young and you're really good coming through, you're getting everything flung at you. You're getting all the club wanting you to stay. They're making you out to be like the next best thing to come through, and then the fans are excited and you're getting wage rises, but you've not done anything yet. But it's because you're in that bubble, and when you're at Rangers as a first team player, you don't lift a finger for anything. But it's when you go elsewhere, then you have to do other stuff, and that's what I'm experience. So that's how loan spells are important for younger players. Maybe that's why the academy want to do that way. But I think Lowry has got the talent, like I said, but it's something else that's missing from his game. I don't know if it is mentality. I don't know if it's other stuff. I don't know if it's other stuff, but you always say talent is good, but was it the second talent only thing?
Talent doesn't beat hard work when hard work was or something like that, or something.
But that's what he does. So I think for him and Leon, I think the two of them have to leave Rangers and move on and prove himself they can do it elsewhere, because other players have done it in the past and done really well for themselves. So I think the two of the next that maybe have to say, we're past the stage of potential, we need to go out and show it now.
Yeah, and
Gary, I think you hit the nail on the head today in the group chat, mate. I mean, when was the last time any of these players actually moved on for Rangers, and then like in a few years you're like, wow, like they come back and you're thinking, wow, this player, we were speaking about Josh McPake. He barely gets a game for St Johnstone now. He's on the bench. Kai Kennedy, no even any idea where he is now. Ayr United or something like that, I mean, and then you're on to the next batch with these players. So this is the problem with our academy, man. We keep bumming it up, but these players move on and they end up the last one was probably that dork that's on open goal nowadays, that big fat guy that played for Villa. He's an absolute cabbage when you see him on that podcast, man. What's his name again? The striker.
Ross McCormick. Ross McCormick.
Aye.
Yeah, he got walked out of training because he couldn't work his gait.
So it was. I don't expect we'll be invited on open goal anytime soon with that comments.
No, that show's full of cabbages, man, so don't worry.
We're getting sued now. That's Ricky's opinion, no else.
Ricky's usually not represent that. Not on a Rangers podcast. So we'll start with you, Ricky, then, right? So we moved away from all the younger players, right? So, but there's a few other players potentially on the move, or certainly not in the plans now. Again, a game against Fraserburgh. If Ravi Matondo and Kieran Dowell don't make the squad for that tells you a story in its own right that they are, as has been suggested, they've been told to leave. However you want to put that.
Yes.
I think it's
So I was
going to say, Ricky, it's obviously they're not looking at a future there. What do you see in terms of getting them out the door? More importantly.
Well, apparently there's people interested in both of them. I mean, I don't think you're going to get... you're not going to get much money for both of them, to be honest with you. Matondo, pound for pound, is one of our worst signings in years, man. I mean, what a disaster he's been. And as I said earlier on, you see him coming on the park. He's got zero interest. And he actually started the season really well, you know. Remember, we beat Ross County 6-0 at Hampden, and he scored like 3 goals, and he was unbelievable. Yeah. And then we went to Parkhead, and then he got injured, and then... like JD was saying on Friday, 2 pints, you go out for a few pints. He was out for a few weeks, and you never seen him again for 3 months, 4 months, or something like that. And then that's him back again, and then you'll start getting integrated into the team, and then you'll start seeing a little bit of form, and then he'll get injured again. So we need to move on. Matondo, he's on a ridiculous wage. Who signed off that wage for him? Was just incredible. And then you've got Dowell. Apparently Stoke City's interested in him. So listen, if we can move these guys on, they're on good money, and none of these guys, Lawrence as well, if we can get rid of Lawrence and players like that are, I mean, we've not even, I'll be honest, we've not even missed Lawrence when he's been out the team. The younger legs have been a lot better. One that's very interesting, I don't know your opinion, Gary, is Hadji. What do you guys think about Hadji? Because I noticed Curry was asking earlier on, apparently, I'm led to believe that we had a year's option, and I see a few rumours that because we didn't activate the clause for him to get this wage rise after so many appearances, we waived the right to that year's extension. Apparently that was there's a few rumours doing the rounds that that's the case. But to be honest with Hadji, I mean, I think Hadji can be a really unbelievable player on his day. But is his day enough? Is my only... He's been really good since he came back into the team, but is he being really good because of this contract situation, and he knows that he needs another contract for next season? He doesn't want to go back to Spain and sit on the bench, and he's one of the players that he's not consistent enough, and that's why when he was available, nobody took him off Rangers' hands. So apparently we're about to offer him really reduced terms, and if he accepts, then I think that would be a fair solution for all of us. And I know you are going to say, would you accept lower terms? Would you accept lower wages? So
it's not right for you, Rick, when you're in Abu Dhabi making fortunes. For us, we've got bills to pay. Drop the ocean at you.
Your butler will get it later.
I've got a wife, mate, so it doesn't matter how much money you earn. I've got a wife that spends it all, and that's allegedly. Sorry, so she does. There's more chance of her suing me than open goal. So allegedly.
I think I like Hadji. I know he's a bit of an enigma, well, a Rangers fan, but I'd rather have Hadji on the side than Barami at this moment in time. I have to say, I think Hadji's a better player. If he comes back in reduced terms, it might be reduced terms as in slightly lower wages, but maybe more bonus at the end of the season if you want anything. Maybe also an option that maybe we can move for a lower fee. They can put all different things into contracts. But if he's willing to stay, even for another year, I would give him it, because I think Hadji's... Yeah, he's a moment's player at times as well, as you say, but he's good. He's got things in his locker we've not got, and if Cherny's not going to be here next season because it's too high a fee, Hadji's the only other probably we've got that can see things that other players can't. So, yeah, he can drift in and out of games, but tell me a good player that doesn't he?
Did we not say this, Scott?
Don't say Messi.
Right. But we said this a couple of weeks ago at the game, one of the games, and I think we said that every player's every attacking player's a moments player. That's some of the greats that we talk about. A lot of time the 2 or 3 poor games and 2 or 3 excellent games that were very inconsistent. I think nowadays, maybe 2025, you expect a player to perform like a robot week in, week out, and do the same thing week in, week out. And I don't think that's how football works, certainly attacking wise, which maybe goes against some of these creative players. So, talked about Hadji, talked about the signings. We signed a player on loan who's, as Ricky says, is on loan just for the sightseeing in Glasgow, apparently, because he's not able to play for the next so many months. It seems to be that from a scouting perspective, he seems to have a good profile. Maybe it's again a bit like your Riggerman type player, a guy you couldn't get if he was actually playing. It gives you 6 months to see the quality he's got and potentially an option to buy. A big bruising 6'3" centre half. He played in the Portuguese top flight for a couple of years. Moved to Lille, don't know how much for, but he's not really featured there. He's not what we need right now, but it could be what we might need in the future, Ricky.
Well, if you can get this guy, 6'3", he's got pace as well. I saw as well, so he's got a lot of pace, and we badly need pace in our defence, So if you're looking at next season, if I was looking at going into next season, to be honest with you, mate, I would shake hands and call it a draw with Balogun. I know he's been a good pro and he's a good pro around the place and everything, but we need someone that stays. Suter can only be our only centre back that we know he's going to miss months of the season. We can't afford to go with so many games nowadays. You need 4, maybe 5 centre backs, maybe a young one as the 5th that is available to play in most matches. So if you're going to bring in this guy, if he impresses because he's going to get games towards the end of the season, Nsiala, and then to me, you're looking at Suter as well for next season. So if you move on proper and you can get some money back for him, because proper is not enjoying Scottish football. You can see that a mile away. So I think he has value. You're going to get 1.52 million for him. So if you can move on him and replace him and get a 4th centre back, then I actually think that would be really that would be the way to go for us for next season. To be honest, Gary.
Yeah, no, and we potentially may sign another player that might come into the team. Who knows over the next couple of weeks, depending who goes out.
Paul's mentioned there Ben Davis, but all Birmingham City's buying him. He's been doing really well down there. They've had a lot of clean sheets when he's been playing. I know people say it's only League One, but League One's a difficult league. To be fair, I watch a lot of their games and League One games, and they're decent level. And if Birmingham got up to the Championship, he's used to that league as well. And English football is slightly different from Scottish football. It's not as much stuff in your face as we get a lot up here. And I think Ben Davis is a good player, but he just never suited the way we played or the way Scottish football was. And you can see he's playing a lot better down there. And Birmingham have got a bit of money, so you hope they give us back as much as we paid for him.
Yeah. So
is it Tom Brady's? Tom Brady's involved with Birmingham now.
Yeah,
he's part owner, but as
American owners.
They've got a lot of money for that level, so you hope they give us back at least something near to what we paid for them.
So Scott, let's start with you as a resident Man United fan, right? So you're all here really to tell us about the players Man United have. What should we expect from the team that is one of the most successful teams in England, who are now sitting 13th in the league at the moment? So what were we looking at?
Gary Rubin, I can tell you that sort of chance have I got. What they expect from United, I don't know. They can be good on occasion, but they can also be awful on occasion. And I think I watched the highlights yesterday, last night, and they were brutal. They don't really know how to create chances. It's coming from 1 or 2 players and doing it himself, like Ahmad the other night. But Zerki's more a holding player. Doesn't score a lot of goals. He can play a ball around about him, but that doesn't offer much. Hoyland's confidence is on the ground. He's not getting really much game time. Bruno Fernandes tries to do far too much for me and just runs about most of the time, but there's not a lot coming for United. They can turn up, as you've seen, but I think they're more a side who likes to play on the transition, likes to play in the break, because I think that's where they're best, because they get pace. So they like to give opposition more of the ball. So we could have a lot of the ball on Thursday night. I think there's opportunities there, to be honest with you, because watch Man United play. It doesn't matter who's in the midfield. It could be Agati, it could be Meno. I like both of them, but I feel they're not a good partnership. or it could be Ericsson, who's slower than me. There's another space between the midfielders and our centre backs, and also the two wing backs. Darlow I never liked. I don't think he's good at all. And Mashauri, I think, is running empty. I think he looks shattered, but I don't think they're good wing backs. I think they play in a position they don't fancy. So I think Thursday night, I think there's going to be opportunities, and going to be a few opportunities for Rangers to score goals. And I don't mean one or two. I think there'll be a good half a dozen opportunities for us to get goals, because I think that's the way they play. You seen it when FC20 went there. They had a few chances and they scored, didn't they? In every game you watched. At home, at Old Trafford, teams have chances. Away from home, they don't give up as many. Because that's what they are. They're a counter-attacking side.
So, and I'm just thinking there, we talk about the goalkeeper. So every corner we get, we go for goal with it. I think is that part of the plan, and get it right on top of them, that old-fashioned style.
He couldn't catch a goal, could he? He's one of these keepers that, like I said to you before we go on, he's like Barthez. He can have 3 or 4 good games. You think this guy's class, and then the next minute he's like Krusty Clown for the Simpsons. He's all over the shop, and you don't know what he's doing next. So, listen, if I was Amarin, I would stick in the Turkish boy, because I know he made a few boo-boos against Spurs, but I think his confidence is better, especially in corner kicks. But
do they play a weekend team in the Europa League? Do they play a kind of rotated squad team?
To be honest with you, Gary, at this moment in time, he could probably play anybody, because I don't think he knows his best 11. I don't. I think he's you can see why. I mean, he said before Jolly wanted to come in the summer. You understand why. They've got millions and millions of pounds. They're probably some of their players are worth more than our full. One player is worth more than our full squad put together, and their wages are on are absolute ridiculous. But I don't think you could pick a 11 there and you think that's going to win. I don't think they're a good football side at the moment at all. So I said to you I think the worst we'll get is a draw. I think Rangers will go there and get a draw easily. I think if you come away if you play well, you don't get 3 points, you're going to be disappointed. Because I think we can get down there and win, because that's how poor Man United are at this moment in time. I remember going there watching it in McWalter, and we drew 0 each. And that was a good Man United side back then, and we drew 0 each, and we done really well. And I've been there before, we've lost, and it's like they were decent sides. This isn't a decent side. This is a poor side. And I'm not saying we're great, because we're 13 points behind the league, but we've been good in Europe. And I think that's how we've got this chance, because I think we can go there and create chances. I think Agaman will cause problems. I know they play 3 at the back, but the 3 at the back don't really know where they're going to be. Do you know what I mean? I think you can get behind their wing backs because they're poor defensively, and I think we'll create chances, and I think we'll come away with something. A draw will be the worst we'll get.
No. Cheers, Scott. So that's probably the first time Scott's ever spoke longer than Ricky spoke in an answer there. That must be because we're talking about Man United there, I'm sure. I'll pick a question then that came up from Paul. Do you think Clement, Ricky, will go with one up top or keep it tight with the players we have missing? Or what do you think the kind of game plan will be then?
I can see. Well, we've run out of options on the left, because Hadji and obviously Daniel was not available. One's injured and one's not available in the European squad. So I hope Yilmaz, I think, is available. Yeah, so I can probably see him coming in on the left like he did in one of the earlier games. Because I think Bajrami has to play in the 10, because I don't see him bringing in Dessers, to be honest. I think Egaman is going to lead the line for sure, with Cherny on the right. So I think we're really limited who we're going to play on the left, because obviously Diamande's suspended as well. So in midfield you're looking at Raskin, Barron and Barami. So that left-hand side is a tough one to see who he's going to play out there, I just don't see Dessers starting. I think he understands that he just affects the team so much the way that we play. And it's still Man United at Old Trafford. I don't like us being way overconfident for these games. I prefer us being the underdogs. The Rangers Globetrotters come out on a Thursday night. We turn up. It's fun to watch. Every single almost European game except for Lyon this season, we've been unbelievable, to be honest with you. This is what I mean about this team. Come on, it doesn't make no sense. In Europe, we're fantastic. At home, we're fantastic. and away from home, we look like a complete different team of strangers that have never played together before. So it's so bizarre. But no, I agree with Scott. Like, I'm pretty confident that we can go down there, and for us, we're in a great position anyway. We've got that last game against USG at Ibrox in a few weeks. So if we go down there, even if we get a point, it's a great result to come back, and then we've got a great chance of making that top 8. I think we're almost guaranteed a playoff position already, but if we can get in that top 8, a few extra million in the bag towards Cherney, then it'll be a good night for us all round at Old Trafford.
So if I was to ask you, Ricky, who's it when the team lineups come out, the game starts, who's the Man United player you're worried about?
No, none of them, mate. I'm more worried about the rice, and the rice. Behave yourself, Ricky. The mice and the rats on the pitch, and the stadium falling apart. Like, you've got to protect our players. I'm more worried about the rain coming in than I am. Honestly, I cannot believe watching. Like, there's a few clubs in England you should do documentaries. Netflix. I watched a thing a few years ago about billionaires in India that went bust on Netflix. They should do that about a few teams in England, because the story of Manchester United, they're together at the bottom of the league. You've got Man United, you've got Spurs, and I think Everton's there as well. And all these teams, like big teams and are all together at the bottom of the league. And then you've got your Bournemouths, your clubs, Brighton's, clubs that are run so well in England now that are at the top with just decent managers, decent. The whole club is well structured, and then you see the total opposite. I think these guys, since they've come in, Jesus, Kerr's turned this into a Man United podcast. It's his dream. These Ineos guys.
It's a different banner on the back, shouldn't it? The Man United flag.
Let's get sued by Ineos as well. I think they guys should have been stuck to cycling, mate, because they're not doing a very good job of running a football club, allegedly. If I'm being honest, mate, it's been an absolute shambles. I thought they would be all right when they came in, man. Man United knocked back that Qatar money. They could have had a golden stadium and Messi in goals, Ronaldo up top, number 9, the best team ever, and they knocked it back.
You can't do that, Ricky. Because you're owners of money, you just can't spend willy-nilly.
Aye, but they're from Qatar, mate. They've got ways around these things.
The guy never came up with the money, but I do agree with you. I'd rather went that way, but the guy never come up with the money, didn't you know? Last thing, Man City's about to spend 250 million in January, mate, so there's ways around these things. But they've not spent any money. They didn't spend anything in the summer. So I managed to bring it to selling some players.
They've just gave Haaland. They've just done the Chelsea playbook and gave Haaland a 9.5-year contract, which is phenomenal, man.
That's crazy.
It's just because it added on to years. You don't have to do it like this year. But on Thursday night for the team, I would start Kelly. Has to start in goals.
I was going to ask about Kelly or Butland.
Because Jack's not played, I would go with Kelly. But Jack's played there before. Jack's knows the stadium. I don't know if I'd bring him back in for this game, Gary. I would probably go with Liam Kelly because he's fat and ready to go. And
he's on better form.
My worry is Ridvan. I don't know if I would play him. And I know I'm going to throw this year, but I would, if that was me and the way United are, and there's hundreds of space to play against, I would start like a man on the left and I'd play Dessers up top.
I was going to say Rabbi Matondo there for a minute. I thought you were going to go Matondo.
I think you can't sit back against Man United. I think you have to take a game of them, because if you do take a game of them, you've got a very good chance you'll get the points. If you sit back, they've got players that can hurt you, even though they're pish, but they get players that can hurt you. But if you take a game of them, like Southampton were very unlucky not to win that game, even though they end up losing it, because they took their chances, they would have won it. Right. Brighton were great, weren't they great, but they took a game of them, they took their chances. I think you have to take the chance. You have to take the game to them, because they give up chances, and if you take them, you're coming back with something. I don't think if you're sitting back waiting on them giving you the ball, it's not going to work. And Guy's saying, come on. I'm just saying, if Hadji was playing out by Hadji, I think we're going to miss him really bad, because I prefer Hadji on the side to Barami, but obviously he's on the squad. But I think you have to attack him, Gary. I think you have to. I think you can't go there and just say, right, we'll sit. If you're sitting, they're sitting. Well, when the game going on, because both of them like the counter attack. So I mean, get a ball, get a wee dug them into the park when they're playing circles with the ball. Listen, to do the two defences aren't great. We're better recently, but the two defences give up goals, and it could be 2, 3, 4 each. But I think if we get our chances, we'll come back with something. And I think minimum will be a point. But I think the game's there if you want it
The
to
way
be.
they play it in Scott with 3 at the back is a tab at the back post goal on its way. Is that the side? I'm just thinking, is that that's the angle and the ball come across back post? There's no defender there. Europe, it's Thursday night. Europe, it's all coming together.
They've only got Harry Maguire. It's actually it's decent head on the ball. The rest of them don't jump. They just stand there and don't do a lot. But no, I would actually just, like I said, I would go with 2 up top. One of them would be Dessers. I know that's. I wouldn't say that if it's against Dundee United. If it's Dundee United, I'm an opposite. But I think you have to take a game of them. I think you have to, because it's a free hit for us. Because nobody's just, even though they're poor at the moment, if you look at the English media and you listen to them, they still expect to win on Thursday night quite comfortably. So I think if you take a game of them, they'll be surprised, because their confidence is on the deck. And if they can see early on, they might not come back for that, because the players are shocked. The players are stymied. So I think you need to take a game of them. I don't think you can go there and give them respect, because one, you will because of where it is, but 2, they don't deserve the respect. Doesn't matter who you're up against, because this, if you watch them this season, they're a very, very poor side. Nameron's right, they're a very, very poor side.
Kerr, it'll be interesting to see how they react after what he said yesterday, and because it was quite wild what he said about the players being the worst ever Man United team, and he was pretty brutal. He was getting a lot of stick.
That's
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Come back and say, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm no shite. Or some folk will go to phone their agents and say, I want away. And maybe that's what he's home.
That's it was interesting. It was interesting tactic that he took there, just absolutely chucking the team under. He's only been there 5 minutes. He was getting a lot of stick for it on TV today, but I think that's what Man United needed. They needed someone to come in there and just with a sledgehammer and just tell them a few home truths, you know.
Rangers and Man United are very similar. They both run very poorly behind the scenes. They both give out contracts for wages that they shouldn't be given out. Obviously, they're on a higher scale with the money, but sometimes you've got to come in and say, right, you are all pish. I don't want you. And if a manager can say that, and then the guys go, because all of these guys have got money galore, and they go to their agents and give a wee cry or what a move for you, they'll get the move. And that's probably, that might be what he's looking for. Maybe he wants some of these guys away because Ineos not only doing the job that he's asking. But no, I think Rangers have to go there, and we have to go there and think we can get something, and I think we will. But no, this is probably the best time to put him.
You can't really get him. I suppose it's about, like we talking earlier on, it's about like Rangers. You can't really get him out from Man U because the wages they've given somebody.
Exactly.
Well, it's like time, isn't it? It's like Anthony going to Betis. I mean, it's not even an option to buy just to get him out the door, but I still having to pay half his wage just because he's getting far too much money, and he's fucking rotten. He's worse than Matondo.
Same as Rashford, man. Rashford, Barcelona's apparently want him, but Barcelona's got absolutely zero money, man.
They're crazy. And I suppose, you know, one of the things just listening to talking about tactically, Barron and Rascal sit in the middle of the park, and their job, the passing isn't a strong point. So, but what they are there to do is clear up. And I'm assuming the way you play, the way you're talking is very direct. The way, ball over the top, very quickly, get Cherney, run down the sides. There's a lot. This would play a lot of times, but arguably it doesn't sound like the tactics that we would play anyway would potentially work pretty well against them just because of the way they play.
You can get the ball over Dallo because he's very poor at defensively, especially the ball over the top. Mazraouri's the same because I don't think he's a wing back. And if he can get down the wings and get balls in, listen, I think a man's a very clever player. I think we can score goals.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that, I think we can score goals. And see James just said that. I said there's a lot of similarities between the clubs, and they just obviously get more debt and spent more money, but there's a lot of similarities. 2 clubs who should be challenging for trophies and titles, and we aren't because of where the people behind the scenes are running the clubs.
And you look at this business. I was talking to my daughter, so I was explaining to her how Bournemouth have a 10,000 seater stadium, same size as your Dundee's and St Johnstone, and that's
phenomenal, man.
And it's because they're well run. And that's because they've got a proper structure, they've got a proper team, they've got prima donnas, all
phenomenal.
But Brighton's the same, Gary. You've got Brentford the same under Thomas Frank.
Brentford's brilliant.
I watched time with Thomas Frank and Gary Lineker the other day on YouTube, and Thomas Frank's dead down to earth, and he didn't play football. I never knew that. He just came in for coaching. No, I never played with anybody. He came as a coach. He worked with academy, set up a gym inside, and then he got up, and then he became manager. through kind of caretaker, and they kept him on, and then he's at Brentford, and he said he's had interest for other clubs, but he's happy there. That doesn't mean I'll not be there forever, but he's happy, and he said he always tries to think of different things every day or every week, just so the players don't get fed up listening to him. He'll bring in new coaches every so often, so they've got another voice to listen to. It's just stuff like that, and he tries to make things interesting. And he says he can only afford certain levels of players, so he has to look at a player closely to see the mentality off the park and off the park, and the work ethic and stuff like that. So, very interesting guy, by the way. Sounding like a really good manager.
Yeah, no, definitely. There was a question, Scott, just quickly then. Who plays in goals for United on Thursday? Onana or is it Turkish player Kim Baidi or whatever his name is? I can't remember his name.
Has to be the Turkish boy, innit? Onana plays in goals. It's like I said, anybody could happen, but I don't know. Do you play somebody when they're poor to try and get them past that, or I don't know. Listen, they could play both of them in goals, because I think we'll still get chances. And I'm looking forward to games. I think, let's say, I've been down there twice before when we played them, and didn't expect them because they've got different players and different mentality. Like Alex Ferguson's manager and stuff, and you're like, it's going to be difficult. But this is the first time I'm thinking we can get some, and I'm really confident we'll get something.
Let's go score prediction then. Let's go score prediction. What are you thinking, Scott?
Well, I think we'll win 3-1.
Oof. That's going to come back with that's really putting your neck out there. That's full belief. Full belief in Clement, we trust.
I know. I'm still knowing that Clement thing. He keeps passing me by. I'm on the other side of the track. I think I'll win 3-1, because I think they give up chances, and I think we're man up top will score them.
Do you know what? I forgot today. Clement's played 6 European games away from home, and he's not lost any of them yet against really
crazy.
good teams.
Crazy.
Etc.
So, Gary, we're watching it. We'll tell you what's happening since you're sitting in a car park.
So, for those that don't know, I'm going down to Manchester. My daughter's got a ticket. I've got a 17-year-old daughter's got a ticket. She'll be in the stadium enjoying it. I'll be sitting out in the car park on my phone. So, think about me. Make sure it's all right. So, I hope we win. For our sake more than anything else, because I'll see bits of the game.
What do you think the scores will be used to? I think it'll be
2-2.
3-1. I think man will get up.
2-2, and I'll be happy with that. I'll go 2
Nice.
each, and I'll be happy with a point. I think that's us pretty much in the top 8, if that's the case.
If we win Thursday night, we only need to beat USG, and we're in the top 8 anyway, and that's us don't play in March, isn't it?
Yes. I think it's the middle of February is the next that playoff round, and so
that's what we should be aiming for, because these 2 games left, 4 points is minimum, but we should be going for 6.
I thought 4 points gets us top 8 pretty sure anyway. So I will go. I think I'll go a draw. I'll probably go 2 each as well. That's seeing the most likely. Both defences will give up chances. Wow. We've got a better keeper than Liam Kelly, maybe. That's the thing going on. Hopefully it all goes well. So I think that's enough for tonight. We are looking forward to the game. As you can see, it's been quite an enjoyable pod. We'll be back on Friday night, hopefully still smiling and enjoying successful run in the Champions League. Clement's kept his unbeaten record going, and not looking forward to an away game at Tannadice where it's all going to go wrong again. So thanks, Scott. Thanks, Ricky. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and watching. Please like, subscribe, share, etc. We will see you on Friday, and take care, everybody. Bye now.